Welcome to this edition of the Government News Brief for Tuesday, October 25, 2016. In the news, the Labour Ministry continues its efforts to protect workers' rights, ground enhancement project progressing and benefiting communities countrywide, and government considering the setting up of municipal courts. Stay tuned for the details. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Paul McAdam. Now for the details. The Labour Department of the Ministry of Social Protection continues to fight for the rights of workers. Gabriela Patram tells us more.
The Ministry of Social Protection, Department of Labour, has brought closure to 23 labour-related complaints. 10 of these were via the courts for the period October 14 to 20, 2016, according to Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection with the responsibility for labour, Keith Scott. These complaints form part of a total 293 complaints at the beginning of the period under consideration. Of the remaining 270 complaints, 26 have received part payment, 143 are pending matters, 82 are before the courts, and 19 are being prepared for court. To date, $714,000 has been recovered for workers in the categories of wages, $664,000, and servants, $50,000. However, the minister stated that the ministry has noted that employers who are guilty of transgressions towards their employees are taking the shorter way out.
What we have found is that suddenly a lot of employers who transgressed in the past are now preferring now to settle out the court than rather to go through the full process.
Additionally, Minister Scott revealed that he chairs the Labour Tripartite Committee, which is comprised of the government, private sector and trade unions, and discussions have begun to revise the Labour Act.
Although we have already begun on a small scale, the aspect of revising the Labour Act, there are some obsolete laws that needs to be revived. Most likely in 2017 you'll be seeing a fresh set of laws that will be brought more in line with national and international practice.
The minister noted that his ministry and the Labour Department will continue to fight for workers' rights and ensure that they enjoy the good life which government promised. Gabriela Patram for the Government News Brief.
The government is examining the setting up of municipal courts countrywide to deal with violations of local governance ordinance. Municipal courts are being considered as a mechanism to address the disregard for the authority of municipal councils and the non-adherence to regulations. Speaking with councillors in Region 2, Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkin says the need for municipal courts is being made by various organizations.
Prior interactions and engagement with the Georgetown City Council and the private sector in Georgetown, some discussions that were facilitated by the President, this question of a municipal court was identified. And so I think it is clear that such an institution would be needed countrywide. It's coming through clear with all of our engagement, with all of our local organs, that you need a dedicated court to be able to address infractions and violations at the local level.
The courts will help in bringing resolution in an expeditious and efficient manner to issues such as illegal roadside vending. These issues are affecting the town council's revenue basis and impeding their effective functioning, the minister explained.
This issue of roadside vending is going to impact negatively on your revenue base and deny you of revenue that can be earned or garnered from your various markets. Then it is one that is, you should not have to turn a blind eye on.
Municipal courts are courts whose jurisdiction is limited to a specific municipality. These courts preside only over cases and offences that take place within their jurisdiction. They provide a forum for the fair and impartial resolution of alleged violations as established by the town's ordinance codes. For the Government News Brief, Paul McAdam. The government will continue to support concession holders in the forestry sector who add value to their products. Tiffany Rogers has this report.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman says that forestry concession holders have been taking steps to ensure that value is added to forest products. Minister Trotman says some concession holders are setting up wood processing mills, and though some of the mills are not of the best quality, it is a start. He says that the government will support companies that make an effort.
The fact is that they are making moves, and we're supporting them because we see that there's an intention to add value added to their production lines, and we're supporting that.
The minister identified Vaitarna and Variety Woods as good examples of companies that have made significant strides in ensuring value is added to the lumber. Trotman says he is particularly pleased with the works of the Iwakarama sawmill.
They're doing good work in terms of not just producing logs or exporting logs, but lumber that is specifically sawed or planed and prepared for export markets.
There has been a concerted effort by the government to ensure added value of forest products locally. Guyana relies heavily on the export of raw logs. However, the 2016 mid-year report projected a rise in production of value-added products in the sector as a result of increased production combined with a larger market for value-added forestry products. The Guyana Forestry Commission is working with the Forest Products Development and Marketing Council of Guyana to seek additional markets, the report noted. For the Government News Brief, I'm Tiffany Rogers.
The ground enhancement project is progressing and benefiting communities countrywide. Isaiah Braffett has more.
Residents of Buxton will soon benefit from improvements to their community ground. $1 million was allocated for the upgrade and work has started. Director of Sports Christopher Jones says that Chung's Construction Company is in partnership to enhance the ground. The company has donated the use of its equipment. Jones says the $1 million would be used to purchase diesel, earth and other materials.
They're going to do complete landscaping because the land is not level. There are huge craters, if you want to call it that, there. So essentially it's to level that. It'll be filling in with earth, leveling that, rolling it, so the youngsters could play games like cricket, football, volleyball, and so forth.
Jones says similar ground enhancement work is currently ongoing in communities across the country.
It's in Pious Grounds Festival City Youth Group, Northeast Penitence, East Ramveld, Guyahawk Park, Seafield, Sophia, and then it goes out of town. They got areas like Charity. There is ground on the east bank of Demerara. There's Pearl Village. There's Plaisance, Aranaputa Valley. This is in Region 9. There's Kokwani, Linden. There's a Linden MSC ground. And then there are grounds in Mabaruma, Good Hope, which is in Region 2, Sunny, Moko Village, Itika Village, Hopetown, Bartika, Upper Maz, Madia, Kato, and so forth, Christianborg, Wizrock, Tugville, Agricola. Those are some of the grounds that allocations have been made through the Ground Enhancement Fund.
The Ground Enhancement Project comes under the Ministry of Education, Department of Culture, Youth and Sport, and is aimed at providing a platform for athletes' development in communities across Guyana. This is part of the ministry's plan to harness quality athletes by ensuring they have the necessary facilities. Isaiah Braffett, the Government News Brief.
Minister of Public Health Dr. George Norton says that all decisions made by the GPHC board must be sent to him for input. Delicia Haynes has more.
Minister of Public Health Dr. George Norton says that decisions of the Board of Directors on management and functions of the Georgetown Public Hospital require ministerial approval.
The chairman of the board, who is supposed to manage the hospital, but the decisions of the board should be with the approval of the minister, who by statute is supposed to be informed as often as possible of all the decisions made by the board.
Minister Norton was responding to questions raised after chairman of the board of the GPHC, Karl Max Hanneman, had said that the public health minister had little or no input in the decisions of the GPHC board.
The minister is responsible for the formation of that board. But of course, members of the board are, some of them are elected by or appointed by different entities. For instance, we have the rep from the trade union, that is the Public Service Union. We have one from the Nurses Association, one from the Ministry of Health, one from the Ministry of Finance. There is supposed to be one from the Guyana Medical Association, which is now not existing, and 3 appointed by the minister.
Some time ago, Hanneman had called on Minister Norton to have limited interference in the board's affairs and to allow them to function as an autonomous body. Minister Norton, however, said that as the subject minister, he should be involved in decisions and recommendation making of the GPHC. Based on an audit report submitted to the finance minister, the GPHC was established by an order under the Public Corporations Act and is licensed under the Health Facilities Licensing Act. The day-to-day functions of the GPHC is funded by the government through releases from the Consolidated Fund. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
We've come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on GINA's website. GINA has an active Facebook page, and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I'm Paul McAdam, thanking you for watching.